Hello, my lovely souls. Welcome to this very long webinar style forecast video that is going to take you to next 7 years. You heard me correct. I am doing a very long form forecast video for you because if you know me, you probably know that I love to see the future ahead. Okay? And with this Uranus moving to Gemini literally today, it says a lot. We are going to go to the future. We're going to discuss everything Uranus is in Gemini is bringing for you, for your planets, and how you can actually transform and kind of prevent some situations or take the best out of these 7 years. The video is going to be super long, so I would suggest you to take notes. But do not worry, everything here that you see is going to be downloaded into PDF and will be in description form. So you can download it and read it later on and watch, kind of like read and watch with the video that you're seeing right now. Now, I will tell you that this video is kind of advanced, meaning if your astrology level is like in the beginning, I would suggest you to skip to your houses, to skip to your zodiac signs, which are like in the same place. Or if you want to understand this video better, I have prepared a 1-week program for complete beginners to be able to read your own chart and understand this kind of videos with no problems. And also I'm teaching you how to use AI, which is literally Uranus in Gemini, like literally that's what it is. So you can grab that course, literally I made like 7 videos per each day so that you can digest better, but I have had people who took this course and finished it within 2 days, so you can take it. And if you want to enroll into Astro Academy, if you don't know me, my name is Soleil and I run Astrology Academy, where I'm taking you from zero to professional. But whoever enrolls into the academy gets this birth chart reading course for free with a free practice session. So you can do that. And then it will be easy for you to understand what I'm talking about here. But some of the material here that you see in this video is going to be taken from my academy. So my students are going to kind of be like, they're gonna share some of the slides with you here. But this whole video is going to the academy for practice sessions for my students. So know that and know that basically what we study right now here is going to be basically 3-4 slides of a whole lecture, just one lecture. Okay, now if you're new here, again, hi, hello, my name is Soleil and I have been practicing astrology since I was 10 years old. Okay, 10. I started fully focusing and getting like into astrology professionally in 2021 with the start of this YouTube channel. So you can follow me. YouTube channel people have completely different place in my heart than the social media people. So you can do that. Sorry for the noise, but I've been actually trying to record this video for some time and I have prepared this lecture for the past 3-4 days. This is the day 4. So yeah, the files that you're going to receive, all you will need to do is input your email, okay, and answer 2 questions, I believe. I don't think it's going to be a big problem because if I could make 3 days invested into this lecture, you could invest your time for 2 questions, which is less than 1 minute. But basically, I have YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube's completely, this is literally my tribe. This is where my tribe lives in. Instagram and TikTok, that's where the guests come and go. Who am I? I practice astro transformation, and that's what I teach. My main focus in Astro Academy is transformation of a birth chart and transformation of the harsh aspects that can come to your life. And this is what we're going to dive into today as well. So I am teaching astrology. It's my passion. Like, I will never shut up about astrology. But yeah, some news that I want to mention before we dive deep? News, okay. It's not actually a news, but I have prepared the 2026 reading for all 12 zodiac signs in the beginning of the year, and I just didn't have time to talk about it more, but it's free. You can download it. It's in the description box below. Then, news number one, enrollment for first semester of my academy is open because I want to provide this opportunity for all of the people who have submitted their application forms from 2023 with a price that I haven't changed since then. So you can enroll with the price that you have kind of like signed up for in the beginning, because for semester two, that's where I'm gonna work with new people, new energy, new vibes. I'm gonna attract a new energy into my field, into my life, because so far ain't doing good. So semester two is going to have completely more rational pricing compared to what I'm providing right now, which is below the baseline, below the how it's supposed to be, below the average. So for those students, please, if you still want, you can go ahead, you can enroll right now, and you will only miss, I think, 3 lectures, 4 by now, but you will have access to all of them. Uh, the same thing for everyone. Maybe I will talk about academy a little bit later, but yeah. Semester 2, the I also opened the enrollment because I will provide only 3 early bird places, because the standard rates are a little bit different, and I know that there will be some people who would want to enroll immediately. And for those people who enroll into academy, as I said, you all will get the free. It's not free. It's actually around $200. But for those who enroll, you get it for free. You study it whenever, like, you have 7 days access. And whenever you finish, we have a mandatory practice session where we're going to practice what you have studied and see if we're compatible for Astro Academy. That's the news. And the important news, my consultations are finally available. I have been going through a lot of mental health. Actually, do we call it mental even though it's physical? I'm talking like, scientifically here, because mental health is considered like what is happening in the brain, with the neurons, but those are physical things. And what I've been through is actually physically visible in MRI. So, okay, so whatever I've been going through, I couldn't talk to people. Trust me, I couldn't talk to people, and that is why you can see big breaks between my YouTube videos. Here I am after like having a lot of visits to doctors and hospitals in the past month. I really hope I can do this, so let's do this. Whoever has been going through a lot of trauma because of Saturn and Uranus in the past 3 years, we're here. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I'm gonna cry. Don't cry. We're gonna do this, okay? If you have been going through some hard and rough time, trust me, nobody will understand your pain but me. Nobody will understand your pain but everyone who went through Saturn in Pisces and this Uranus finishing the cycle in Taurus. All right? All right, so let's kick it in. As I said, some of these slides are taken from my students, so say thanks to them that they are sharing their lectures with you. But trust me, this is just 1%. And what I'm gonna actually do here is also gonna go to my academy, because in my academy I don't have time to go in depth into every forecast for every zodiac sign, because it's the future. Okay, I don't give astrology forecasts in academy. Astrology forecasts are done by my students, by themselves, through everything that they have learned. Okay, let's kick it in. What's Uranus? All you need to know, the keywords of Uranus are, okay, it's freedom, but what kind of freedom? The freedom that comes through rebellion. The freedom that comes through there is no other option. Like we have to break free. That's what Uranus is. Okay. And Uranus goes through the cycle, meaning through all the 12 zodiac signs in 84 years. Okay. And then stays in one zodiac sign approximately for 7 years, like in this case. And the crazy part is that it completes half of the cycle in 42 years, which means people who are 42 years old, 40 to 44, like it really depends, you are all probably going through your Uranus opposition, which means this 7 years, depending on your degrees, are going to be very much transformative for you. Like, trust me, um, so it means like you're going to have an opposition from Uranus, and also people who are in their 20s, like 21 or something, they're getting some square, but it's not as visible or feelable. You don't feel it as much as other planets in your chart. We're gonna go through that as well. So, Uranus is associated with unexpected and sudden, like sudden changes. And depending on what kind of aspect it is making to your planets, to your chart, those sudden changes can be either, yeah, I like that change, or you'll be like, oh, get me out of here, kind of change, okay? It is actually, I'm sorry for that noise. It is actually indeed one of the hardest planets to forecast, to kind of like understand what changes. Like you can't give specific forecast details about Uranus, but trust me, when we go deeper, you will have enough information to forecast whatever you can. So you won't even need more depth into it. Like you'll be like, okay, that's enough. I know a lot. Now, the thing with Uranus is that it's not like happy a lucky planet like you're like Jupiter or Venus. It is a rebel, like imagine your chart as like 12 people, okay? 12 zodiac signs, or like, okay, 10 people as 10 planets, okay? And one of those people is the one that will get super upset with things being not fair, that they will start revolution. That's what Uranus is. And revolution is always led with the feelings of like I need the freedom from this, okay? So it's not like, oh, I want to be free because I want to. It's like I want to be free because my life sucks. That's how Uranus work. That's why it manifests very intensely like Pluto, but unlike Pluto, it acts briefly like an electric shock. Like the other day I was planning like to record this, and then literally the second when Uranus like changed the degree, went 0 0, there was a freaking thunder so loud to the point the electricity went off, like boom, everything was gone. So yeah, that's how Uranus work. Okay, now let's go deeper. If you see a screenshot like this is literally from the slide. I copy paste it because trust me, if I did it manually with hints, like every typing everything, that would take me another 2 days. Anyways, so there is more into every planet that we study, but like I just put a little bit of it so that you can see how we work together with planets and how fascinating astrology can get. So every planet has circumstances, like it every planet represents a circumstance, every planet represents a specific forecast, and every planet represents a specific human or a person in your life. I didn't put it because that's super personal. That's why you see the cut is weird. So, what does Uranus represent when it comes to circumstances? Like, first of all, thunder, strong wind, that comes with dust because it's in Gemini air sign. So is it tornado, typhoon, tsunami? these terms are very complicated for me. But anything to do with a strong wind that turn things into like electrically, you got the point. Okay. So circumstances apart from the nature, sudden events. Like sudden. It's so unexpected that it's sudden, okay? Just like thunder. Breakthroughs. That's why Uranus is the planet of innovation and science, because that's how you get into like bringing new things to this planet. Accidents. So, what happened to Trump the other day? That is literally Uranus work, because Trump is a Gemini. Why do I know so much about this guy? I know he's a Leo rising, and Uranus, Gemini is in his 10th or 11th house. So it's publicly, you see this accident, boom. That's like probably went closer to his Mars or to his sun. I don't know the details of his chart, but that's like the perfect example. Okay. Rebellion and protest. So someone was rebellionly protesting against Gemini, Trump, and that person was protesting was Uranus. Okay, Uranus entering Gemini. So Uranus brings rebellion to Gemini. Do you get the logic? Okay. Now, technology and electricity. I swear, tell me in comments. Let me know if your technology, even though it's new, has been glitching. The glitches that I have had with my phone, unexplainable. From now on, I can determine the glitch between a Mercury retrograde glitch and Uranus glitch. Uranus glitch is a freaking glitch to the point where iPhone camera turns black. It doesn't show anything. You can scroll, you can't do anything. None of the apps were working. Binance went cuckoo. If you are into trading, you know what it is. But Binance went cuckoo to the point that for a split second I became a multimillionaire. Like something was going on with Binance, that the coins were going up and down in milliseconds. I felt how it feels to be a multimillionaire. In that split second, it was so sudden. In that split second, I had planned out my millionaire life, what I'm gonna do with that money, and of course, it disappeared. Yeah. Electricity, I told you, everything went down. Everything. Space exploration. Okay, Uranus is about space. Uranus is airplanes, scientists, and all of that. Okay, I'm telling you, these like 7 years, the space exploration is going to be accessible to people, to basic people like us. It's no longer going to be hidden. It's no longer going to be like a status symbol. Only like what was his name? Elon. Only him and his friends can go to the space. No, it's going to start being accessible. Like those things, we're already like predicting stuff. Social reforms. It's already happening. You will be already seeing. Okay, now in forecasting. Now, this is what you need to know. That's my cat, by the way, right there. My cat. Okay, in forecasting, Uranus shows where life becomes unstable. So, you open your chart. We're gonna go through it, but you open your chart and you check where does Uranus go? Like, where is it now in your chart? That specific house, that field of your life is gonna start becoming unstable. It's like that field of your life you should not plan. Trust me, like wherever that house where Uranus is transitioning or is in, trust your coach, okay? Trust your teacher here. Do not even think about planning things in there. Like, for example, Uranus has been in my 9th house for the past 7 years. All of my education locations were not planned, like out of nowhere, like random places. Did not even think about those. And I tried to plan my stay somewhere, my residency in some, like, no, doesn't work. It's like you can't plan. You just like go with it. Right now it's in my 10th house, so I'm like, haha, do I plan to become a millionaire and get a promotion for I don't know what promotion? Like I don't have a job. No, I can't do that because it's sudden. Like for example, literally the second I was recording this, my first draft, I received a message from my international Olympiad student, like math international student. I mean, we're not students anymore, but like he messaged me saying like, "Hey, we have an opening in a school to teach biology. Do you want to join?" Sudden, because I never taught biology, even though that's my degree. It's like you cannot predict. So you need to know that specific house and not have don't have hopes for that house, meaning hopes of like I'm gonna plan this and da 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 da, and I'm gonna follow. No, you can't. You can't execute that. No. Now, this is also the house where freedom is demanded. This is the place, the house in your chart where it will want to break free. Like the second Uranus entered my 10th house, not in Gemini, but like it entered like recently, I was like, that's it. That's it. I'm like clear in my head that I will never do corporate unless I have my freedom to do whatever I want. Like it was so sudden and so clear. Like you should also feel like you should if you feel it already, it means you have that cusp in exact degree. So for me it was 29, 20, 28 degrees of Taurus. So that's like that. The cusp is important. So freedom of corporate, freedom of a boss, like no thank you. Or freedom of some kind of business that you didn't want to do. We're gonna go through houses where radical changes occurred. So radical changes. Okay. Where innovation replaces tradition. Look at this. I bought these things 2 years ago and I had no clue how to use them. And today I was able to use them. Like literally in 2 seconds, I was like, buck, 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 and everything is working. And I'm like, okay. Now, okay, let's move on. This it this is a little bit of history. I like history to foresee the future, but you can read it yourself. All we can say that Uranus in Gemini happened in 1941 through 1949. So what happened during that time? Okay. Communication revolution happened, information warfare happened, mental awakening happened, technology rewires thoughts happened, radar, computer, AI, media disruption occurred. Like, okay, AI is happening right now, but like I included some historical data, like microwave radar, long distance wireless systems standardized. So I predict according to all of this the logically, if we're using logic here, Uranus and Gemini, it's wireless. So there will be some kind of breakthrough in my opinion with um like a telepathy kind of a way where we do not need to carry things in our hands. Perhaps maybe like flying cars. Easily I can see that, like cars that can fly or cars that have some kind of innovation. Like also, I'm gonna go through the forecast predictions, but whatever comes I have to use it too. So for example, wireless, it's actually happening right now. The innovate in China, for example, If you attend trade shows, you will know in China, um, they have invented the machine where you just put your hands or you enter through that machine. It just scans your body and immediately within a minute it tells you what health issues you have. It's wireless, nobody's touching you, you don't have to do anything. It's split seconds, like that kind of technology we're talking about that I believe is going to become way more accessible to people. Some kind of V2 rocket becomes the first human-made object to reach outer space. So I believe we're gonna reach outer space. Colossus computer built first electronic programmable digital computer. The world's first subway line opened 1941. First programmable computer concept. So I really do believe this is the 7 years of a lot of innovation, tech innovation, specifically tech innovation to do with communication, with travelings, with documents, education. We're gonna go through that. But AI, perfect example, because last year we had Uranus entering Gemini. AI screams Uranus in Gemini. Also, literally from last year, um, portable microphones started becoming very famous. Like, the mics that you attach, they were there, but they became super famous. One day I'll get them, but I prefer like this because I am a part-time singer in the shower and in the bathroom and in a toilet, so I need to have a microphone looking thing like this. Okay, Uranus global forecast. Again, with this one, I'm going to give it to you to read because I've already given a little bit of information and I don't want to use my voice for that because it's global. If you know me, I don't usually do global related topics, but I'm just gonna go like overview like a little bit. So number one, which already happened and it's going super crazy, okay? Like literally when ChatGPT happened, it could only like communicate with you in like meh way. Now it can generate crazy portfolios, mood boards, and like do crazy stuff for free. Like for example, when Canva was developed, it took some time for upgrades, right? With Canva, with ChatGPT, things are going so fast that I'm like, oh my god, I don't have enough time to learn all of these things. And you do not need coding. Also, this is one thing I'll tell you. I'm a Uranian baby, okay? My moon, my Venus is in Uranus and in the sixth house. When I was growing up, I didn't have a computer until 11th grade when I needed it for studying abroad. Like, I didn't even know how to I barely could turn on a computer. And we had mandatory classes in computer sciences. It was the most miserable subject that I hated so much. I would always be like, please God, like why am I studying this? Why do I need our language? Why do I need those? If you remember, if you're like from my generation, like for example, we had assignments to do a report and then design it like with a frame and everything. I'll be like, okay, I love the framing part, but like why do I have to do it? I understand now why my soul was so against it, because I was waiting for freaking 2026 and 2025 to finally get into this space, because I have so many app ideas that I want. Before I couldn't do it because I had no clue how to program. Now, with AI, easy. I can do it, you can do it, anyone can do it. Even my mama can do it. My mom is best friends with ChatGPT. And whenever she comes with some kind of argument about my health, I'm like, did you consult with Henry? Who's Henry? You might ask. My mom knows who's Henry. It's ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my Jared, the one that Iron Man had. I was living my whole life for Jared to happen, and it happened. And I named him Henry. Okay. You're gonna read through it yourself. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna read these things. You can read these things yourself in a PDF. So education and transformation. Oh, education will be transformed for sure. Like this is literally the period where not majority, like the world will be questioning why the hell do we need universities? Because why? Gemini is opposite to ninth house. Ninth house is universities. And Gemini is like short courses, more practical. You study fast and then you implement it immediately. So this revolution of like, why do we need universities is going to be very much highlighted. So Gemini rules learning and Uranus rules disruption. The traditional school and university model faces its deepest structural challenge since the printing press. So here is what I predict. I will feel like so many universities will start using marketing influencers to start like promoting their schools because nobody's gonna go to university. Okay, I don't know what, but like non-traditional people, they won't go to school. Like kids, a 16-year-old, 13-year-old, they're like making $1 million without studying in uni. They're just doing AI something. $1 million. They're not so good example. Exactly last year, exactly the same period, I went to my university in South Korea where it was so busy when I was studying 10 years ago. It was so what is the word? Populated with students that you couldn't even walk. When you're late for your classes, you will have to like push people away or they push you. There were so many students. Last year I went, I felt like I was in some kind of holiday season where a few students are left and the rest are back home, but it was exam season. During exam season, there has to be a lot of students. Like, that's what I'm trying to convey. There is no, like, for me, if I have a baby right now, I will never take them to school. I won't take them to even elementary school. I'll take them directly to the hobbies that they like. Like, I'm gonna put them in whatever. I don't have babies, but like a suggestion, and I wouldn't not. I wouldn't like even Harvard. No, like right now, let's say if I become a millionaire and my goal was always to go and study in Harvard. If I have money right now, I won't go because nobody cares. Like, no. You can read through this. Smart cities and urban reinvention. This is exactly what's already happening. It's so crazy. Okay, it's already happening in Dubai, I believe, or Saudi Arabia. They're building something, right? Let me make myself bigger so that you can see me. There is an issue with this because after Uranus in Gemini comes Uranus in Cancer. After 7 years, people are going to be like, don't think we like this. But like what I see, also like forecasting into the future, and study a lot of things, and my mind is like a little bit like way too much open, so I question everything. But let me go through this first. Gemini rules neighborhoods, local movement. Look, it's opposite to the ninth house of like expansion and traveling to places. Local movement and the immediate environment. Uranus electrifies and restructures. The smart city is the physical manifestation of this transit. Um, there is an issue with that, but first, let me try to explain. Maybe it could be like a conspiracy theory, but take it as you want. It will be, and it is already happening, that the governments. What if they block my YouTube? I don't know, but the governments are trying to bring people as close to one space as they can. I think I'm getting into a conspiracy. But if you look at what's happening with Uranus and Gemini, it's gonna go together with Saturn in Aries first, then Saturn in Taurus second, and then Saturn in Gemini. You might say, like, what does it mean? Well, Saturn is restrictions. Okay. Saturn in Aries, restrictions of individuality. Saturn in Taurus, restriction of food, of things that give value to your body, your vitality. And Gemini is what? Is air that we breathe. Okay. So, in my humble conspiracy opinion, the governments are literally bringing as much people into one space as they can so that they can control all the resources. Okay? Especially when Saturn enters Taurus, all the resources are going to be controlled. Controlled electricity, controlled water, control. Oh my god, okay. You see the problem here? You should always combine all the social planets, all trans-Uranian planets when they're transiting. When you make forecasts, you combine them together. You can't just be like, okay, Uranus is all about like smart cities. But at what cost? At the cost of Saturn. And the crazy thing is that literally almost the same day when Uranus moves to Cancer after like 6 years, the same day, one day before, when Saturn is moving to Cancer as well. So together, they're gonna bring a lot of revolution when it comes to living spaces of humans. That was a little bit of my opinionated opinion. Communication, politics, and governance. Uranus and Gemini will ruthlessly expose leaders who cannot communicate, who speak in abstractions, who avoid the direct dialogue, who rely on spectacle rather than substance. Like politics, not my cup of tea. Even though whatever I said before, was it a politics? That was life, I think. But I don't know. You can read through this yourself. Okay, transportation and mobility. That's my interested, like the topic that I am interested in. I really, really hope that there will be a teleportation system invented, or at least brought into consideration in the next 7 years. But I think my Uranian Aquarian brain is, and my Jupiter delusionality is way too ahead, which I assume if it's not in Gemini, then it's probably in Aquarius, which is in many, many years. But hopefully by the time I'm 85, 86 or something, that's when Uranus will enter Aquarius. It will happen. It will happen, and I'm gonna move back to some other years. I really do believe in that. If it doesn't happen in Gemini Uranus, then it's an Aquarius Uranus, the teleportation. But what we're experiencing, Gemini rules short distance movement and local logistics. Uranus rules speed and technological disruption. So we can see, I really can see, I can see flights. I can see people being able to have their own flying cars. That's what I see. Like with Gemini, for sure. Flying cars, I can see. It's something that I don't think I am delusional about, but I think it could happen because Gemini is opposite to Sagittarius. Sagittarius about flights. So imagine a flight in a smaller version and more individual. So that's going to be a flying car. And I had students not from academy, but when I was teaching English, I had stewardess student, and she was a Gemini and strong Sagittarius. So Uranus is an airplane, and Gemini is, let's say, a stewardess or a car. So I can see that. I mean, electric cars are going to be very normal, but they are already normal at this point. Digital identity, money, and privacy. This thing is kind of important. This thing will definitely be something to worry about. So Gemini rules data exchange. Uranus rules sudden systematic change. The financial and identity infrastructure of society undergoes a structural overhaul. Like, have you seen the Black Mirror where like your your ratings count for everything, your miles, whatever you do, like if you have some bad reports or something about you, you can't fly. Those kind of things can start happening, especially 26, 27, 28 with with Saturn being in Aries, a restriction of identity, or people not being able to have control over their own identity because of digital world, having this digital passport, digital whatever thing. That's happening, that will start happening out loud. You can read more. Health, medicine, and the body. I already touched on this one. It's my favorite topic because my sixth house is strong. My first house has too much Virgo in it, and I am a scientist in biology. So this topic is my favorite. So Gemini rules lungs, nervous system, and hands. Uranus rules sudden breakthroughs and disruptions. So as I said in China, like literally, you just put your hand and it analyzes your whole body, or you enter that system and just analyzes your whole body. Lungs, again, whatever they're spraying in our air will be exposed. We will learn about it, combined with Saturn and Jupiter, like in other zodiac signs, that can come out as well. Um, Literally, because I follow health and wellness technologies, updates, like upgrades, whatever is happening. They this year, this thing that you breathe in through your lungs, that thing is getting quite popular, and I can see the trend moving forward being very loud. Like it's going to be very loud, like you breathe into it, it's cleansing your lungs, the follicles in your lungs from the dust and all the dirt. So that's what I can also see. Also, when it comes to supplements, the supplements that you can inhale is also getting big, in my opinion. The nerve, like, you have to read this if you're interested in health and medicine. I really think you have to, because with the amount of information that a person is exposed to nowadays, that's way too much for the brain to absorb. So a lot of brain injuries, neuropathway damages will be there or are there. So there could be new terms for some brain issues that we have due to social media and etc. That's what you have to look out for and prepare for. So maybe you should limit yourself. So these things are going to be there. Also, what I have noticed from my own experience, hands. I do my nails, right? And I always had this bump right here. And I was told that it's because I write too hard. So whenever I write, I press the pen way too strong. I was like, okay, that's ugly, but okay, fine. That makes me unique because this hand is fine. Okay. Recently, I went to do my nails, and I'm like, why do I have this specific finger going like thicker and more harsher and more like a wood, and I keep on biting on it, and I don't feel anything. It just feels like an excess skin that you don't even feel. My nail artist told me that is a bump that is similar to this, that's gonna get worse. Why? How do you hold? I hold my phone like this. She said it's because of this, literally. So this is just one thing that I saw, but you can read through the slides. It's crazy. Met ooh. So yeah, I wanted to mention this one. This is my specialty. This is what I want to work on actually. So if anyone wants to join me, you can email me. But I want to work on an AI app that can track your health without any, like, visits to a doctor and waiting for a doctor to tell you what's going on. And there are many iterations of my idea that is like they're going like way better than I couldn't even think about it, because literally when I came up with that idea it was innovative because AI wasn't there that much. And whatever I was thinking as, like, it would be good if we could just do this, it now can, like, now you can work on it, what I'm talking about. So for my app I was thinking, you go to a hospital, you do the medical checkup, and you get, wait a minute, kids are yelling, and kids are literally Geminis, literally Gemini kids. Okay, so the whole point was, you go to the hospital, you do your medical checkups, and then you just upload your history, your medical history, to an app, and the app will have your history. And every time you have any health issues and you don't want to go to hospital, or you can't go to hospital but you really need an answer right now, like I'm having a panic attack right now and I don't know what's going on, what is happening, the app is going to like calm you down and tell you, like, 3 days ago, dude, you were stressed out about this and that, da 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 da. But for blood tests, you were supposed to go to the hospital, do the blood test every 3 months and upload it to get, the most accurate interaction with AI. But there are startups that have been building and are already building, and they're finishing building the chips, the tapes that you just put on your body, and they can track and check your all of your hormones, which before you were supposed to do a blood test. Now you can just do it, like, easy, like, yeah. So also recently I it's so Uranus in Gemini, it's crazy. So basically, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. In Belgium, when I was studying, I was clinically diagnosed with depression, and I couldn't accept this fact, so I skipped taking antidepressants. And the thing here, for example, it's a very perfect description here. The thing with antidepressants is that once you're in, you cannot get out. That's what the doctors say, okay? That's what they say, and that's what they convince ChatGPT as well. You can't get out of them. Like, it's for your lifetime, and once you get out of them, you completely mess up your brain. Which is true, but why? Why a pill that's supposed to help you actually makes it worse if you finish it? Okay, so for the past 2 years, I was clinically depressed, and I absolutely hated every single second of it. First of all, before the antidepressants, I couldn't get out of bed, okay? I think the last video that you saw me on YouTube where I was mentally okay was the Pluto video. After that, I was out. Completely out. And that day, in specific minute of that video, you can clearly see me getting sick. And that's also, like, influenced. So, uh last month, why I disappeared. Okay, last month I had a situation where I was hospitalized and diagnosed with microstroke. Hey, I had no clue. I had no, I knew there is heart attack, I knew there is stroke, but I never got into it because these are the topics for elderly people. Okay. And I had exact same symptoms back in Belgium, and I was denied to be diagnosed with anything to do with heart or stroke or anything because of my age. So they just gave me Tylenol. So in the past month, when I was fixing everything, we literally did an MRI scan, okay? It literally shows that my neurons, my capillaries, my vessels in my brain are physically damaged. And I was like, so my depression is literally physically there. You just fix that and your freaking depression is gone. So I started like doing all the required things for fixing my capillaries, my vessels in my brain. Look at me now. Do you see this face? Do you see the cheekbones are back? My swallowed face is kind of gone, and my face went down like this because of the left side. So I was like thinking, excuse me, what if a mental health that happens for younger people is actually a brain injury that has to be and can be fixed in a month or so, after which you do not need antidepressants? What if those antidepressants don't actually fix your brain? They're just keeping the electricity in your brain going, but they're not fixing the pathways for new neurons to work or to build. So now I'm on a mission to become a rebellion of mental health situation here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my logical observation of what is happening. So my thing here is that the mental, where is it? Here. The pharmaceutical dependency concern raised in the original list is valid. So the list that I provide. As a preventive and enhancement pharmacology expense, questions about long-term immune and endocrine consequences become serious public debates. I think I will be one of those people who begins this conversation. It's like, you are forcing us to take antidepressant pills for the rest of our lives so that you can freaking make money while I am freaking miserable? Like, where is this? I mean, I know now I have 2 degrees, okay? Biology and business. If I think business wise, it's perfect scheme. It's perfect. I kind of keep a person on afloat. Like, they're alive, they're going, they're managing whatever they can. At the same time, I'm selling my pills and I'm making money every single month. Because one box has 30 pills. Like every single month. It's like a subscription, lifetime subscription. What kind of benefit will I get from a patient who I can fix within a month and they will never come back? That's crazy. That is crazy. Gender, relationships, and social structure can also go through transformation. Gemini is a sign of duality and multiplicity. Uranus dissolves fixed binary structures. You can also read through this. You can download it, or maybe you can screenshot. Language, media, and culture. Clearly, it's already so much easier to work in an international company where you do not know the language. You just you press translate, it does the job. Like, okay, I have to fix this one and then I will upload it. But like, easy. Life is becoming easy with all of these things, okay? Language, media, things are like, the only problem with media is it's going to be way too much. So it's going to be up to us to differentiate what is an AI, what is fake, what is real. Okay. I think I should stop here because it's way too much and I will need to take a little bit of break. Maybe I will take a break and we're gonna finish with this one. Yeah, we can finish with this and then continue with personal. I think I went over the most important forecasts of Uranus and Gemini. And from this slide and onwards, we're going to dive into every individual way that a Uranus and Gemini can play out for you in your chart. That is why I need you to open your charts right now. I need you to know your degrees. I need you to know your planets. I need you to know your houses. Everything from this slide is going to be so important. So, if you do not know how to do that, as I said, go purchase the Birth Chart 101 reading course, where you will also get free practice session with me, after which this will be kind of easy peasy for you. But if you memorize and learn the birth chart course, the 7-day course, if you memorize it and learn it, then, like, trust me, if you in details, like if you learn it in details, like Korean students do in Asia, like Asian students do every single detail, that's how I learned. Easy. This will be easy. So, doesn't matter whatever it is. Prepare your charts. Let's kick it in. You do not need to open the transit chart because I am giving you the transits, okay? You just need to know by heart or just have your chart in your hands. And we're going to dive deeper. Again, I'm letting you know, reminding you that you can study your own chart, the short course. You can become a professional astrologer and astrologer on demand, and consultations are available, so you can reach out to me. Okay, one more time. Do we do it one more time? Maybe not now. Not now, but basically, if you know me, you should associate me with astro transformation. That's what we're also going to do right now in this webinar. We're going to transform any of harsh or tense aspects of Uranus to your natal chart so that you are prevented and you know how to plan your life in advance. I am your coach. I am your guide to studying astrology, become a professional astrologer, and getting the best out of your chart, meaning out of your life. Again, one more time. Wait, let me, or let me not. See, the universe doesn't want it, so we're gonna keep it. Yeah, maybe let me show you. Okay, so let me show you because I don't think I will have energy for this. So as I said, free PDFs for 2026 for every zodiac sign is ready in description. Semester 1 for Astrologer on Demand is still open until I think 4th of May. So you have like one exact week to kind of get into it. Most of the time, the students who get in, they're like this. And that's amazing because I don't like negotiations and taking time. Especially, I lost some of your emails, so please reach out from a different email or send me a Telegram or a WhatsApp message, okay? Again, the semester 1 rates are my old rates of the course, like old. From semester 2, which starts in September, okay, you know what? Let me just open it. How do I open it? No, it doesn't. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Let me take a pause. So you just click at this. Okay. We'll go to Claude AI. Now, this, what we discussed this with Claude together. We discussed everything with Claude so that I am not over or undercharging, because Claude and ChatGPT, they're like, girl, you're so undercharging. And I was like, but I really want people to know astrology in advance so that they can, like, literally after this course, no need to go ahead and study more, already start making actions, you know? Astrologer on Demand Academy. It's an actual academy. Semester 1, semester 2. All the lectures are live on Monday, Wednesdays, Friday. On Saturdays, we have live practice sessions. So by Saturday, which is Friday, you have to submit all of your questions so that we can go together through those questions together and practice them. Perks: 66 pre-recorded lectures, live practice sessions, monthly private one-on-one, me and you together, me and you, practice sessions, mostly focused on transforming the chart and the transits like we're gonna do today. Telegram community of students who are into astrology or studying astrology, which is something I never had, so I'm gonna keep it, even though the access for the course is 2 years. I think I might change it, but the community stays, and a certificate. We have 2 semesters this year. The one that is right now, semester 1, April through September. So first week has already gone. So you can watch the practice session, you can watch the lectures, you will still be able to join the practice session on Saturday. Semester 2 starts from August and ends in January of 2027. This academy really needs committed students because I don't have the capacity and energy to force you and to make sure that you practice and study on your own. I think the amount of control I have is way enough. Okay. 2 years of life support. I will change this. My life support is life forever. You will be able to consult from module 1 already because we're gonna go like through the foundations of astrology, and you will be able to learn the transformation ways as well. Clear path forward for professionals. Here you can find testimonials of people who have gone through the academy, people who have gone through the birth chart, the 1-week program that I told you about. You can check people who joined webinars, etc. You can read through that. Transformation is the most important thing in astrology because I don't believe that we are given the tool of astrology to just tell who you are and what will happen. The main purpose of astrology is to tell you what potentials do you have that need to be awakened and what aspects and transits that are upcoming, that are coming your way, that you can use to your benefit instead of suffering from them. That's the whole point of transformation astrology. That's the whole point of astrology, in my opinion. So if you need some assurance to be like, do I need to study this? Am I an astrologer? Do I have the it astrology girl energy or boy energy? Let me tell you, this is something that all of my students have. Not all of them in one specific person, but like this is something that I found in common in all of my students. Virgo and the 6th house energy. So if you have a strong Virgo or strong 6th house, it means you are a natural healer. You're born to this world to help people, to provide some kind of support and service to others. Virgos are the best at kind of telling you the things that you don't want to hear about and being like, you are wrong and you need to fix this. You don't want to hear it, but Virgo will be like, this is for your own good sake. And astrology as a tool helps them to see what is wrong with a person, what path they are taking, that they have to pivot. Aquarius and 11th house. This is amazing. This is literally astrology. Why? It's because astrology is Aquarius and Uranus and 11th house are all about future. These are the people who see through the future, who see the trends, who can predict things. So they're the best for telling you how your life can turn out to be. Like in my case, when I make forecast videos, that's when like it works for me. That's why I am more into forecast astrology. All of the people who come to me for my consultations, 99% come for forecasts. And this is also something we discuss with students, what path in astrology they can take to work with people. Like some of people work like Virgo 6th house They are as healers. They're here to tell people where they're wrong and how they can fix it. Then we have Leo, fifth house. This is the house and the position of freedom, of doing things with passion, with love. This is very important in any business, especially in astrology, because you're giving your energy, and with Leo and fifth house energy, you have it enough. So it's not like you give it and then you're tired for a whole month. You kind of give it to other people, but you also receive it, so you need it. Plus, you have passion for what you love, which is astrology. Plus, it's the aspect of a person who needs to have their own business because they have to work with their hobbies, okay? And fifth house or Leo are encouragers. These are the people who coming to astrology, they help a person to get inspired, to get the light on, and to just move forward and not give up. These are not type of people who be like, oof, in 5 years something bad's gonna happen. These are the type of people who be like, oh my god, within 5 years you have to become a millionaire so that after 5 years you can just rest and enjoy your time. These are your cheerleaders. You need them for astrology so that your client is happy. And the last but not least, these are the common things that I've noticed: Scorpio and eighth house. These are the type of consultants or teachers or guides and coaches who not everyone can handle, because these are the people, the astrologers, who will make sure to dig into your chart, analyze everything, and dig out all the trash, all the mistakes, everything that you're trying to hide. Bring it out, show it to you, and be like, okay, we gotta fix this one by one. We start from here. It's going to be painful, but we're gonna do it. This is literally transformation astrology, screams Scorpio vibes. Transforming the life is through the eighth house or Scorpio energy. When you combine all of these, if you have at least two of these, like, what are you waiting for? Okay? Yeah. Do this. If you have these, it's your path. We are literally in AI era where you don't have to be physically present anywhere. You can do this online from, like, literally from your bathroom. Sometimes I do that. You can work and help people whenever and however you can. And you're gonna love it. And you're gonna love it. That's the most important. Leo. The fifth house. It's important. If you have other aspects, it means you want to learn yourself. And especially if you have Scorpio in eighth house, but you don't have others, it means you have this urge to figure out yourself. So with this type of people, you're gonna end up going to astrologers, tarologists all the time in search for yourself, but it will never, ever be enough. That's why in your case, you have to dive into this yourself, because I provide literally everything. Read the read the testimonials, read them. Like, I provide everything. Now, cool thing, let's go. The mandatory things for this course are not your level of astrology, because I provided for you even before you joined the academy. So once you decide to enroll and submit your application, which is in the description down below, I will send you the birth chart course, the 1 week birth chart course that I told you about, which is around $200, but it's going to be free for you because it is mandatory for you to go through to understand what is astrology in general. After which you are going to have a mandatory practice session with me where we're going to practice everything you studied within those 7 lectures. People who took this 7-lecture course, they finished it within 2 days, like most of the people. That's important because we're going to have a practice session, after which, after we practice, we're also going to have within that practice session a discovery call to figure out if we are a match. But don't worry, if you have all of these, we're gonna match, because all of my students match with me. Like, especially I would add here like my specific students, they have something in Capricorn or in Leo. I mean, Leo is here. Because, yeah, we vibe. Okay. Your knowledge level, 0. We can start from 0. If you just want to study birth chart foundation and transformation, you can do that. That's why, because of the requests, I have 2 tracks. But my goal is to prepare professionals. Language is English. Time commitment, you must go through 3 lectures per week so that we can have a good, meaningful, and efficient practice session. That's where my requirement, my limits are. 66 pre-recorded lectures, weekly live practice sessions, monthly private. I mentioned all of that. Lifetime replay access. You will have lifetime replay access. All the webinars, everything is going to be free for you. There's so many bonus lectures actually that I need to do the reassessment and add more, because there's like more than 66 lectures there. 11 modules. So people who just want to go through foundations of astrology, these are the pink ones, right? You're gonna go through module 1 to 6. And for module 7, that's where we're gonna enter the forecast world, my favorite world. But up until then, you can choose track 1, where we're gonna go even like literally from module 1, birth chart reader and transformer astrology. This is where you will already be able to start having consultations. Vocational astrology, where people make money. Like some of the astrologers fully focus on this. Some of them focus fully on birth charts. Some focus on karmic astrology. Some focus on love, synastry, relocation, and relocation astrocartography. This is the topic of 2026, basically next 7 years. Astrocartography is the most important. Then we have kids or inner child astrology for track 1. And then for track 2, we have all of that plus forecast transits astrology. Whatever we're having, the webinar that we're having is literally from this module. Then we have solar returns. This is something that's going to trend in English speaking astrology later on. So if you know it in advance, perfecto. It's not there yet. Like English speaking astrology world doesn't talk about solar astrology, electional astrology, or horror astrology yet. And you will be ahead of time. And obviously we're gonna have Astropreneur module, but throughout this whole semester, I am already like telling you how you can implement astrology into your business practice sessions. So spring semester is from April through September. Fall is from August to January. Now, the reason I am doing this, so that as I said, people who were signing up but I lost them can reach out. Hello, send an email please, but the email that you will use, because these are the prices from these are old prices and I'm keeping them specifically. That's why I extended the enrollment for spring semester. We have birth chart reader, transformer, and professional complete program. Here you can see all the details. You can see it all. So first track, because of requests, I was so against having 2 tracks, but some requested, but most of the time 80%, 90% of my students go with professional because they want to become astrologers. So you have all the details. Cohort 2, semester 2. The reason I opened semester 2 enrollment is because we will have only 3 early bird seats for semester 2, because if you look at standard rates are quite different. But unfortunately, I can't live with these rates. For some reason, the country that I'm even living in, my home country, is even more expensive than living in South Korea. So these are my current rates, which according to ChatGPT and Claude are still underpriced. I don't know, maybe next year I will finally get the courage to increase my rates, but just send an email, or you can join it's better if you send me an email so that I can immediately send you the birth chart course Yeah, and you can check through the calendar what the students are going through, what lectures are happening right now. So today, retrograde planets, patterns, and etc. Yeah, as you can see, practice sessions, we have them on Saturday this time. And every student will have their own private session with me. Yeah. And yeah, second semester is August, September, October, November. Like, how many months is this? Yeah, basically 5 months. It just begins in the end of August. Basically, you can read through this by yourself on your own. I just wanted to present this so that we do not miss out on things and you know what is happening. But now we're going in. We are going into you taking this webinar very much seriously. Are you ready? Let's go. Yeah, let's get in 2026 through 2033. 7 years. Like, if you look back 7 years ago, where were you at? How things were going and how things have been changing. This one, this upcoming 7 years are going to be fast. All the changes are going to be fast. And you're going to feel them the most because when Uranus was in Taurus, it was a little bit stagnant energy because Taurus is very slow energy and Uranus is like, ooh, I'm impatient. Let's pick it. Let's go. And Uranus was like, in Gemini, then we were like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna do it fast because I love when everything is fast. So these are important degrees. Okay, this is where advanced astrology comes in. I want you right now, pull up your charts. Comment down below. I need you to do this, okay? We're practicing right now. You need to open your charts and find out if you have any degrees up to 5 degrees. I'll explain. So you see the dates, the periods, the years. Do you see? You see 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Something is happening here, and then 33 two times. What we need to do right now, the changes that are happening with Uranus right now transitioning into Gemini are not going to affect everyone. No. You can chill and let me know. I'll explain. I need you to find your house cusp's degrees, more specifically, a house cusp where Gemini is at. If you have late degree of cusp in Taurus, then that's the house that is already working because Uranus entered there. It just entered there. Like for me, it just entered 10th house. So I'm not gonna wait for 2027 for changes to happen. It's already happening. Does it make sense? Okay. Now I need you to open your planets. Check your planets. And these are the planets that you need to figure out. You can check all of the planets, right? But we're going to work with specific ones and in specific signs. The signs that we're talking about are going to be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Then Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And Virgo. If you have any planets in these 7 zodiac signs, any planets, I need you to write them down. And then I need you to write down their degrees. I'm not going to show you where to find the degrees because I told you this is for advanced. If you do not know how to do it, just enroll for Academy to get a free access or purchase the course. Damn, I sounded so bossy. Okay, so 7 zodiac signs. Write down all of those planets if you have them and write down their degrees. And this is where this table is going to be useful. If you have planets in any of these zodiac signs that I just mentioned, from 0 to 5 degrees, you're going to experience their change and upgrade this year in 2026, because Uranus is going to go from 0 degrees of Gemini up to 5 degrees, and then it's going to go back retrograde. So maximum this year, Uranus is going 5 degrees. So this year, 5 degrees, up to 5 degrees, you're going to experience that planet or that house being activated. Okay. The crazy thing is that this specific transit ingression happened with Venus together. So we in astrology, in transits, literally first lecture of module 7 of forecasts, we go through orbs. This topic is the most important. We had the first practice session with our student, and this was her first question. Like, her question from first week were orbs, because we study orbs literally in the beginning because it's the most used thing in astrology. Orbs and degrees. That's why what you see. With Uranus, it usually works within like 1 to 1.5 max degrees. The influence it has, the orb. But because it worked together with with Venus during this ingression, it kind of expanded a little bit the orb to, like, you can take 3 or maximum 4, but I would say like maximum 3 degrees of like influence. So in this case, right now, if you have any planets from 0 to 5 degrees of Gemini, you're experiencing it for sure. Let me know in comments if it's wrong. Let me know in comments. Like, you should let me know in comments, okay? Okay. Now, if you have planets or cusps in Gemini, from 5 degrees 41 minutes to 9 degrees 57, so almost like 10 degrees, you're going to experience the changes in 2027. Okay? Planets and house cusp. Next. In 2028, people who have planets from 10 degrees to 14, planets and cusp. In 2029, from 14 to 18. So basically every year, 4 degrees. Same here. 2029, 18 to 22, you're going to experience. And 2030 to 2031, from 22 to 27 degrees. Okay. Then in 2033, people who have degrees in from 27 to 29, you're going to experience. This is very important, okay? I can tell you right now. So in my case, I am feeling it at the moment right now, because first of all, the cusp for me, my 10th house, is literally being walked around by Uranus. Then my Venus is 3-ish, 4-ish degrees of Aquarius. So there we have a trine. It's working. Then these are the things that are gonna happen specifically this year for me related to Uranus. Then my moon, which is in Aquarius, I'm gonna experience the trine, the happiness, the glow up in 2030 to 2031. Okay. These other years, silence. Okay. And then the last kick for me is going to be right here, 33, because from that year, my life is going to be miserable. Because after that, we have Uranus in Cancer, and Cancer is going to oppose Capricorn, and I have all the planets in Capricorn, but I have my Jupiter literally in these last degrees. So this is how you can plan out your 7 years in advance and be like, okay, all the traveling, all the education I have to do before all of this. My Venus, which is trining with Uranus, there has to be some kind of promotion or health improvement, financial upgrades in these years. So I have to work harder or figure out the chances, because I'll go and explain how now the aspects work. Did you understand? 7 signs, one more time. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they're gonna receive a trine. Do you know what's a trine aspect? You can check it out in the birth chart course, the basic one, the beginner one. Then Leo and Aries are going to get a sextile. A Sagittarius is going to get a square. Oh no, sorry. A Sagittarius is going to get an opposition. For me, that's going to be almost in the end. And then we have Virgo and Pisces. These 2 zodiac signs are going to receive squares. Yeah. Okay. And I have. Oh no. I have to figure out everything about my life by 2029, because Uranus is going to square my Saturn in Pisces, and everyone who has Saturn in Pisces is going to feel it, like depending on the degrees. Okay. Now, let's talk about how these aspects of Uranus work. We're going to have a harmonious aspect, which are going to be trines and sextiles. In this case, trines are going to receive other air signs, and the sextiles are going to be towards 2 fire signs, Leo and Aries. Now, how do these aspects manifest? Lucky influence of circumstance, because it's so sudden. You have no idea where it can come from. Good fortune, a miracle, a chance. Sometimes we simply notice an opportunity that has long existed in our lives, but we didn't pay attention. Meaning new insights, growth of intellectual activity, and overall acceleration of affairs in the house of Uranus influence. So a lot of movement in that house. As I said, lucky influence of circumstances, good fortune, a little like sudden unexpected things. Like in my case, suddenly one of the students wanted to do like full purchase without installments, because she accidentally because of all of these glitches that were happening, she accidentally got the access to all of the lectures, and she's like, please, can I have the access to everything? I don't want to do the drip content. I want everything, but I'm gonna study on a weekly basis, but I just want everything right now. It was sudden, it was not planned, and I was like, okay. It's good for her, because it's also like, okay. And again, sudden, out of nowhere, do you want to become a teacher, biology teacher in an international school? Yeah. I'm not going to accept it, but it's like, unexpected. For example, these kind of things. Now, hence aspects, we are talking about Sagittarius, opposite sign, and then we have squares from Virgo and Pisces. So yeah. You thought that Saturn return is over and now we're gonna be fine? Huh? Sure. Hell no. We are still growing and learning. I believe like this millennials, our millennial generation is going through so much, unfortunately, too much growth that they're tired of this growth. But okay. Here we have astrology to help us. What do we have here? Hence aspects, which I have been living through, by the way. Total bad luck. Something unfolds so unfortunately and suddenly that we're in shock. I can bring you an example. For me, this happened when Uranus was squaring. Uranus was squaring my Venus, because I have early degree Venus, and from Taurus it was squaring my Venus. But I will make you happy here. At the same time, thanks God, I had Jupiter having very positive aspect to my chart, to my planets, to my stellium. So the first wave of the square from Uranus to my Venus, I didn't feel it as tense. I had financial issues related to education because Taurus is in the ninth house. I had issues with paying for my education, but suddenly, because of Jupiter luck, I received full scholarship to go and study in Hong Kong, and everything was paid. But it was stressful because in the beginning I didn't know where to get money, but then I found it. However, when Uranus went retrograde and Jupiter kept on going, it was like already moving away from happy aspects. Uranus went back retrograde and it went back to the same Uranus. It's so crazy. Like now I'm thinking about it. So I went to study in Hong Kong for exchange. And because of new professor who is from Hong Kong in Korea, I failed a course where I lost all of my scholarship, where I had to find a job. I had to live in other people's houses in a couch or like somewhere in the library, like under the bookshelves, to pay for my semester to graduate. It was like I studied for 4 or 5 years. I never received any fail. I never got any F. And this was literally my last semester. I was supposed to graduate literally tomorrow. And it's like, nope, it's an F. In Hong Kong, we don't do it this way. If you got an F, you will have to retake. This is how sudden and unexpected and how bad it was, because that specific lecture in my university happens only once a year. So, if the lecture was in fall semester, I would have to wait for exactly 1 year to get it. So, I couldn't graduate on time. Whatever. That's how it worked. Risk of being harmed in an accident by lightning or electricity. Plans and schedules collapse, like my graduation. We're constantly running late. That's my normal state because my sixth house is Aquarius, so I don't have that kind of commitment. Great sacrifices made in the name of freedom. Unjustified risk taken in order to stand out, ignoring social norms and common sense in pursuit of unique experience. Electronics breakdown, we buy poor quality tech, light bulb, etc. Yeah, and also, like when Uranus was completing its cycle in Taurus, last degrees of my moon, it started squaring. That's when I got my first medical conditioning of the depression. And then it went back and I had my first micro stroke. It was ignored. And then the last time it went back and like completed the cycle, that's when I figured out things. That's how astrology works. 3 times. There's a loop. Yeah, but that's like, I'm giving you way too much at this point. Yeah, but that's like the cycles of astrology. Like some things happen 3 times, and you will even see it in AstroSig with ease. Now, how can we work through Uranus transits? This is where transformation astrology comes in. So, with Uranus, because you cannot plan things in advance. Oh my god, my cat opened the door so widely. So, if you hear a noise, please don't pay attention. So, one thing about Uranus, it's all about sudden electric shocks and advancement and innovations, right? So, wherever house it goes into your chart, you will need to determine how you can innovate it and make it more sudden and like unexpected. Okay? Literally, how can you make it better but more innovative? That's it. So, one should prepare in advance for the fact that plans will fall apart and it will be necessary to constantly adapt to new circumstances. So, this one is non negotiable. Forget about your plans for that specific house. Forget about it. You will never have anything specific. For me, it was amazing when it was in my ninth house because I am spontaneous and my main planet is Jupiter. Like I enjoy traveling. When Uranus was in the ninth house, I could book a flight like literally today and fly tomorrow, like so sudden. No plans in advance. That's why people don't believe in me when they say like when I say I'm gonna plan things, they'll be like, no, we don't believe you. So during a tense transit, it is advisable to completely avoid dangerous adventures and to be more careful on the road with motorcycles and with air travel. I had Uranus square Mars. Actually, everyone had that. It was the original transit. But because I also have Uranus and Mars transit in my own natal chart, whenever Uranus and Mars work together, it activates my inner natal chart. This is also one of the ways that transit astrology work. They're one of the things. If you remember, you're gonna use it, and you're gonna be very grateful that I said it. But yeah, when there was a square of Uranus with Mars, I was almost there. Like I was about to fall off of a cliff and die on my birthday. Literally on my birthday. But yeah. Anyways, it's very advisable to just stay away from danger. Like if I was Donald Trump's astrologer, I'll be like, are you serious to go literally on a day when Uranus is changing the sign to your own sign and it's aspecting your own planets? You go public? Why would I mean, I know like there are two ways to do it. To do it on purpose, to manipulate all the financial stuff, like everything, and to get more attention, or so stupid to cause so much issue. Okay. Now, other ways. Inventive and creative activities. Learning how to like you don't need to program anymore. But basically, working on all of the hobbies and everything that you ever wanted to do, implementing technology, let's say. The practice of spontaneous dance or unplanned activity, such as walks without a route and any kind of improvisation. Dynamic meditations, the exercise of living one day, mastering new social roles, any methods of forecasting the future, like astrology, tarot, numerology, and human design. That is why this is the moment for anyone to literally study astrology, those who have aspects and care about astrology. Now, remember I told you to write down all the planets. Did you do that? Okay, great. Now we're gonna go with Uranus aspecting those planets. Since we don't have time to go into every single aspect, you will just have a glimpse of how this kind of energy can play out. So, what happens when Uranus works or touches or does something to your sun? Which means if you have sun in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Aries, and Leo, there's 8. Especially if you have them within 5 degrees this year, you're gonna experience. If it's other degrees, you can track which years your sun is getting activated. So whatever it is, whether it's tense aspect, whether it's positive aspect, harmonious, I always say it's an energy that you can use. So you will always need to look at the positive things that this aspect can do so that you get the best out of it. And the transformation techniques, like that's in depth. I just gave you the ones that you can already start doing. So this is the period where your identity wants something new. You would want to express yourself. You would want to become more noticeable. a period of worry and anxiety, depending how it's aspected. This is genuinely an unusual and interesting time. During tense transits, there is a risk of doing something foolish, so it's worth waiting things out, rearranging the furniture, repaint the walls, and then decide whether to sell the home you liked so much. Uranus can disrupt the functions of the heart. Be careful. So, for me, when Uranus was transiting through my sun, meaning like trining it, I think it was the best time of my life because it was also trining my Jupiter. It was the best time because that's when I went to study to Korea. Literally the best time. Like that's when my identity was there, like my confidence, everything shining. Moon. Well, if it's squaring, then you will need to really take care of your mental health, of your brain, of your neurons, of your house and everything. But during this period, emotions may be unstable, lots of worrying, unusual wounds coming up. Emergency mode connected with the family, household members demand a great deal of attention, an overall feeling that there is a huge amount of things to do and everything must be done urgently. Basically, anxiety on steroids. This is an excellent time to change old habits, change your attitude towards the thing that cause you unpleasant feelings. Go and do the medical checkups of your brain. Do the MRI. This is the period where you have to do the MRI. And when it comes to your housing situations, either don't go back to your home country or just deal with it and do something within the house because experience coming from an experience. Mercury. Uranus can change our way of thinking, new ideas, unusual contacts. Thinking becomes more creative during this period and interest in technology. Da, 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 da. This is literally also amazing. This is actually when my brain came up with many creative ideas to innovate things that are actually happening right now. Like I consider myself a trend seer. That's because of this. Also, make sure that you take care of your hands and your brain when these aspects are happening. Make sure that you do some health checkups here as well. And Venus, here, I would say if you have square to your Venus, okay, or a conjunction to your Venus coming up, I would highly suggest for you to have some spare amounts of money hidden, not touched. Because Uranus, when it touches your Venus, it's gonna go either all the way up or all the way down. That happened to me. So have separate place for your money that you do not touch. Because you don't want it to be touched by Uranus during this period, especially if it's a square or opposition. If it's a harmonious aspect, keep it. Maybe you'll get millions suddenly. Like, why not? Okay. Also, here we need to remember some terminology or some theory. In astrology, everything is correlated to everything. So Venus traditionally rules love and partnership, right? And money. But the way that I teach my students is a little bit more advanced. Every planet that we discussed, you need to look where those planets rule, which houses they rule. So for example, Venus right now, my Uranus, my Pluto, they're all touching my Venus, right? Do I have love? No, nothing. Why? Because Venus doesn't rule nothing to do with love in my chart. Okay? Venus rules my money and my employment and my career. That's it. So for me, these changes are going to be related to my work, to my status, and my money. Or you could be something else. So you need to know that in advance. Love may unexpectedly enter your life. And this will happen not only suddenly, but also under unusual circumstances. The person you fall in love with will not match the ideal you had before. These relationships will end just as swiftly as they began. So you don't keep like plans for this kind of relationships, especially if they happen during retrogrades. Uranus in positive aspecting can bring new emotions into an old relationship. Tastes and ideas about beauty may change. This is not the best time for a serious cosmetic surgery. Don't do that. The results will be unpredictable. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that as well. However, if it's some kind of surgery where you can use some kind of innovative technology like laser, like light therapy or something that is newly invented, this could be a good idea. Now, the last planet we're discussing is going to be Mars. Now, this planet, you don't want to mess with Mars and Uranus when they're together. It's like acceleration and speed on speed on steroids. Uranus in aspect with Mars can produce energy swings, lots of energy one moment and none the next. During tense transits, this is a dangerous period. Unexpected crisis situations are possible. During this time, there is a sharp feeling of anxiety and a drive toward change. Changes are often made rashly, and later such haste can turn into problems. So again, you need to know where Mars rules your chart, like in your chart, which house does it rule. If it rules your fourth house, it means you will have this urge to completely change your house. If it rules your 10th house, complete urge to fix your career and do something about it. If it's 8th house, negative thoughts all the time. But yeah, you got the point. So these are the main planets that we're looking into and we're preparing ourselves for. And we're figuring out the timeline with the table that I provided before. And now we're gonna go through houses, or for people who are not into astrology in advanced form, we're gonna go through zodiac signs. So let's kick it in. And hello again. If you skip through the beginning part, it means you are not advanced in astrology. You are here to know your next 7 years, but I would highly suggest for you to go through the beginning part of this webinar to kind of help yourself to plan out ahead your 7 years, because what you're about to hear is not necessarily going to resonate with you, because we're working with very specific numbers, very specific degrees. And if you do not know how to do that, I can easily help you. All the information is provided in the description, or you can just email me. I'm here to help, trust me. So let's go with Uranus going through the first house, or if your rising sign is Gemini. Now, depending on the degrees that we have mentioned earlier, these changes will start happening for you whether this year, next year, or other years within 7 years. So if it doesn't work out for you right now, if it's not resonating, it means it's going to happen a bit later, or maybe it already started happening. Now, if your first house is in Gemini and it's 0 degrees Gemini or 29 degrees of Taurus, Gemini is already there. And what's Gemini going to do in the first Gemini? And what's Uranus going to do in your first house? It can sharply change your physical appearance, your looks, your lifestyle, and your attitude towards life. A sudden divorce, or on the contrary, a sudden marriage. Something very sudden towards you and your partner. Constant movement and travels, changes in lifestyle. Uranus will never manifest in the way you expect. It will definitely do what you did not plan. Also, if you find Aquarius in your chart, you will know where the changes are coming from. Okay, so Aquarius for you is in the ninth house. That's why a lot of changes in travel, education, and movement coming from. Let's go next. If you have Taurus in your second house, and oh, wait a minute, if your rising is Taurus, it means, uno momento, wait a minute. If you are a Taurus rising, it means Uranus has entered or is entering your second house. Okay? And during this period, 7 years or maybe 1 year, really depends on the degrees, really depends on the planets. During this period, the way you receive income changes in some way. A new job, new income, new sources, changes in payment. In any case, income will be unstable. Fixed signs experience the greatest difficulty during this transit because the person is required to be flexible. Unexpected losses or unexpected windfalls are inevitable. Really, again, really depends on what kind of aspects this Uranus is making to other of your planets, okay? But usually Uranus in the second house in any kind of transit, in solar reading, any reading, is about instability when it comes to your stability, because second house is literally about stability and making sure that life is fine. Okay? So, there it is. Meaning that during this 7 years, you should not have specific plans or specific expectation towards money because there will not be what you expect. But the good thing is that, as I said and I mentioned earlier, with Uranus in the second house or related to Venus or money, you can literally become super rich out of nowhere. Or you can lose everything. And then the next day you have everything. It's ups and downs. So I wouldn't suggest for you to be greedy or risk. If you get a sudden boost of money, save it immediately. Take it out. Keep it somewhere away. Okay? If you see that your money is going down, sell it immediately. Don't wait. Don't be like me. Don't wait and be like, no, no, no. Maybe in 5 minutes it's gonna go up. Or maybe tomorrow it's gonna up. No, don't do that. I should use the same example and the same suggestion and sell all of my crypto. All right. Now, if Gemini is going to your third house, it means you're an Aries rising. This Uranus is vibing with your rising sign because you're an Aries, so you have a sextile here. You're chilling, you're vibing together. Again, really depends on your degrees, when it's gonna happen, and then with planets, what kind of specific situations will happen. Okay, Uranus can create unexpected changes in the lives of your siblings. Relocation is possible, as is the need to process certain documents. Frequent trips possible. During this transit, a desire often arises to obtain a new education, possible, including astrological. So, if you're in an Aries rising and you want to study astrology, you know where to come. A negative or tense transit creates problems on the road with documents and accidents, unfortunately. There could be some sudden changes in your community, in the group of people that you vibe with, or you will have sudden urges to work on specific projects, on specific startups with specific people. Now, if your Pisces rising, or if Uranus is going through your fourth house, now this is where the changes are coming for you. During this period, a sudden change of residency can occur, a desire to change things at home, rearrange things, renovations. Changes may occur in the life of one of the parent. For example, there may be a move, like someone is going to another city, another, so you will be like moving. During the tense aspects, there may be electrical problems at home. Okay, so with the With this aspect, I'm seeing for you specifically relocation. I can see relocation 100%. Moving towards some kind of remote place or working remotely, working from home. I can see that. I can see a lot of secrets also. Maybe secrets in your house or secrets about your family is going to be there. Now, if you're in Aquarius rising, this Gemini Uranus is vibing with you, and all the changes are initiated by you. So, whatever you decide, those changes are going to happen in your life in general because fifth house rules love, your life, happiness, and etc. Now, crazy things that can happen with Uranus in a fifth house: sudden, unexpected pregnancy. If it's a tense aspect that you don't don't take care in advance of, then it could be miscarriage. The chances are there, so you should be careful. A new romance, very vivid, but it may end just abruptly as it began. Okay. New hobbies and new interests may appear. Changes in the lives of your children are not excluded. New ideas to start new businesses out there, going to concerts, like experiencing new things are going to be sudden out of nowhere. Like somebody could call you for like, hey, let's meet up, and then you go to meet up and they take you some kind of place, some kind of trip, and they're like, whoa, I did not expect that this kind of things existed, and now I'm like experiencing new things. Basically, it's crazy. Or they take you somewhere, like your friends take you somewhere, or you do something and then you meet some people that you might fall in love with, and you're like, whoa, I did not plan this. I didn't think that I would be in love this month. Whoa, it was not even in my head. I didn't even manifest this. Okay, now if you're Capricorn rising, then Uranus is entering your sixth house of health. Sorry, I'm a Capricorn stellium. I'm not a Capricorn rising, but it still affects me. My cat came. So, with Uranus going to the sixth house, obviously it's going to bring like revolutions at your workplace, in your working space. Like literally the day when Uranus was changing, completely changed my working and sleeping place because I have just one room. Completely changed, removed unnecessary bed. I'm like, no, now I love it. I love it. Health wise, there could be some kind of innovation that could come into your way that could fix your health situations that you had no clue about. But again, let's be honest here. Uranus rules your second house of money, and Uranus going to your sixth house of work is screaming promotions, screaming something to do with employment and work. So there could be some kind of upgrades and changes when it comes to your employment. So unexpected changes may occur at work, connected with the workplace, colleagues, employees. A strong desire to change jobs may also rise. A pet may unexpectedly appear at home, or a pet may run away and get lost. So I'm locking all. Oh my god, this is crazy because my mom is a Capricorn, I am a Capricorn, and we're planning a relocation. So I am teaching cats to be okay with walking out of the door. So this could happen too. May run away and get lost. Health problems previously unfamiliar to you may appear and then just as unexpectedly disappear. Yeah, like in my case, because I'm very early degree Sun Capricorn, so the Uranus kind of like worked with because early degrees, which means it earlier entered my sixth house, helped me with the MRI and all those tech stuff with my brain, and I figured out and I fixing it. So yeah. You may make excellent decisions at work in the case of a positive influence. Under a negative influence, dismissal is possible. It's normal. You can get fired. It's fine. You will find something better. Now, if Uranus is entering your seventh house, you could be a late degree or super. Where could you be? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm sorry. You could be a Sagittarius rising. You could be a Sagittarius rising, and Uranus could be entering your seventh house. Now, this is crazy because I've seen this and it's crazy. During this transit, sharp changes may occur in married life or your partnerships relationships. If a person is married, this is a time for infidelity. A spouse may change greatly during this transit. Not gonna happen for everyone, but this is one of those periods where your life will be rebelling your partner away, meaning like we don't want this partner because they suck, so we want a divorce. So, okay, that's one of the. A business partnership may unexpectedly fall apart. When people enter your life during this transit, it happens suddenly and they often leave just as suddenly. This aspect is often called the love at first sight aspect, and indeed, love is born quickly and unexpectedly. Most often, relationships both begin and end during this transit. Like, it's crazy. I know one Sagittarius rising last year when Uranus entered Gemini. It was early degree for them. They met this person and they were like, whoa, they were already planning. They were already like, wow, imagining things about their future. And then boom, I'm tired of them. I don't wanna do this anymore. Boom. Bye bye. And then boom, a new person. They're like, ooh, interesting. It's very sudden, unplanned, like things crazy things like that can happen, or you will actually find someone, you'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm so in love. So this is because Uranus rules your third house, I believe. This is where from you're gonna meet these new people from either family members or through friends. So know that. But be okay for things to change. So don't fully like be invested in the relationship. If a divorce situation happens, there is a reason. You've been holding it and you've been like trying to keep it for some time, and you're just like, no, no, no. It's time for freedom. We rebel. That's how it works. Now, if you're Scorpio rising, it could mean Uranus is entering your eighth house, and wow, this is a transformative 7 years for you, but unexpected transformation. Like you have no clue, kind of like a transformation. Someone in your close circle may become seriously ill. I wouldn't want to talk about this, but like, okay, it's not for everyone, but it can be there, especially it's not like it happens because it entered. It has to connect with some kind of planet. This is just an example. You may unexpectedly earn or lose a large sums of money. Very, very typical case. An unexpected inheritance. Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. I don't have none of it. An unexpected inheritance can pop. Again, like it's something where you have zero clue that this is even a possibility, that this could even happen. In the best case, investments bring an unstable income. In the worst case, they will bring unsuccessful. So, like, again, you could become a millionaire. Like, I believe someone during that period when Uranus was transiting, ingressing, someone actually became a millionaire. I became a multi-millionaire, like, literally 5 seconds or 2 seconds. I was. But I bet somebody actually became a multi-millionaire. Okay. It's difficult to plan financial operations. It feels as tough finances are slipping out of your again with people who are experiencing Venus or second house or eighth house Uranus. I highly suggest to have savings that you are not touching at all, just in case. But if you see that something is happening, like you're gaining a lot of money, like let it happen and take it. Don't wait for it to go even higher. It should be sudden and fast. Ninth house. If Uranus is going through your ninth house, it means you're a Libra rising. So in this case, a shift in beliefs and worldview, unexpected travels, immigrations, foreigner may have an influence on you during this transit, an unexpected desire to start studying again, or controversially to drop once. Like this is my past 7 years. Unexpected decision to study, to travel, and quit because I don't like it, so I rebel against it. It's horrible, blah, 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 blah. What can I suggest? If you don't want any reputational issues, do it. If you don't care about it, do it. Or don't do it. No, it was the other way around. You got the point. Yeah, there's, again, you cannot plan here. Like, I have a list that I've prepared in 2019 or 18. I have a list of things that I wanted to do, and they were like masters, PhD, travel the world, experience all the foods, and hiking, camping all over the world. And then what is it? Start teaching as a professor. I had issues with my master's degree, so I can't even consider PhD at this moment. But I'm receiving an offer to study to teach in school, not university, but school. So if I wanted to continue with teaching in university, I should have not done some rebellion stuff that I've done. And during that time, I had a lot of squares from Uranus. So think if it's a square that is happening, then I wouldn't suggest for you to rebel. If there are trines, you can rebel the hell out of the system and travel as much as you can during this period. Green light to travel. Who knows where life will take you? Unexpected places. Maybe you're gonna go to Antarctica or Arctica, and you had no clue you would ever go. Now, 10th house. If Gemini is entering your 10th house, it means you're Virgo rising or Lady with Leo rising, like meh. So, it's a period of serious changes in the state of your business and your career in general. Since the 10th house is an angular house, it will play an important role, and all events connected with it will have a public character. Changes may occur in the life of one of your parents. Your view of the world and how you perceive it will change. Hopefully, waiting for it, cannot wait for it, but I can already experience some changes. So, in my case, there is a public rebellion that I'm doing against L'Oreal, who clearly stole my idea word by word. So, that's like public, it's going big. Publicly, I'm doing astrology because I decided to kind of commit into it. What else? Like small things, but they're already happening, and it's literally first day, first 2 3 days. But the influence always happens a week before. So maybe some of you will get married or get divorced. I don't know. It's that sudden. Like maybe suddenly I'll get married. So keep an eye on it. Let's see. And obviously, Uranus rules your sixth house of health and work. So, definitely some kind of work promotion situation happening. Now, 11th house, it means you're Leo rising. So, Gemini is there, and Uranus just entered there to your 11th house. These are positive changes, actually, that are going to be happening for you. Let me turn on my brain. Okay. Yeah. Aquarius rules your. Wait a minute. Okay. Aquarius rules your seventh house. And the changes are happening in your 11th related to your seventh house. That's how we are doing the forecast here. So, in this case, the changes are happening in the lives of your friends, and your friends themselves may change. Maybe your partners become your friends, or your friends become your partners. So, look out for this one as well. New people will enter your life, completely new. This is an exact aspect you have been waiting for if you ever wanted to become a blogger, a YouTuber, TikToker, like Instagrammer, like any of these. This is the moment. This is the time to go public and show yourself to the world and make yourself visible. You may join societies and organizations or leave them. Your plans for the future will shift because 11th house is literally the future planning, and desire to live freely will emerge. You will become more rebellion if you were a bit like shy. This is the moment for you to become publicly known and famous. Now, 12th house. If you're Cancer rising, it means Gemini is in your 12th house and Uranus is entering there. So, what it will bring to you? What will this change bring to you? Okay, so Uranus rules your 8th house, and this Uranus goes to your 12th house. There's like a lot of transformation in general happening for you, with a lot of changes that you would probably want to keep to yourself and not share with anyone. Maybe you will go into like some kind of relocation and change your place of living. But during this period, what is hidden may become visible. Maybe what you are trying to hide can become visible to others. A desire to engage in charity may arise, so do it. Help animals if you can, or anyone who needs help. An opportunity to form secret alliances may present themselves. Pretty sure it's happening already. Under tense aspects, there is a risk of ending up in the hospital, so be careful, especially with your mental health or some kind of accidents. Sudden desire to relocate and travel somewhere hidden, secret, without telling other people can happen. So keep that in mind. Okay. And again, if you're interested in any of these things below, you can do that. I think I have some more few things prepared, but that is going to be way too much. You can go through these yourself. These are retrograde periods, and you need to know about these retrograde periods. Why? Because whatever planet you have between these degrees, if you have, then the event's gonna happen 3 times. This is one more tip about astrology that nobody talks about. Okay. Anyways, like this you can also check in AstroSeek yourself. I just put it for myself. I'm gonna remove it. Important points. This is already like way too advanced astrology, and it's for global advanced astrology. If you're into it, you can look into it and understand what I was trying to do here. I don't have the capacity to continue anymore, so we're gonna end it up. And August, December of 2032 is going to be important because there will be a shift to Cancer, Uranus going to Cancer and then going back to Gemini. So we will have this shift too. So important to know. And yeah, I think we're done. Again, I'll put the notes so that you know what we're doing here. Notes, okay? Free PDF forecast available in the description down below. Enrollment is still open. You can still join the first semester with a cheaper rates. The semester 2 enrollment is open for early bird seats, only 3 available. 2 tracks are available due to requests. If you want to become a professional astrologer, this is for you. Consultations are available. I am in the right mental capacity to do it. You can email me. And I will see you in my next video. So if you're new, make sure that you subscribe and follow and leave comments. Bye bye. Ooh.